Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Moopsie, and today we're talking about art and mindfulness and overcoming creative blocks. So, have you ever felt like you wanted to create, but you seem to get in your own way or you just can't get started? Well, this could be because of lack of inspiration, motivation, or even distractions. And today we're going to talk about ways to build habits and processes, understanding yourself in a way that can support your creative journey and help you make more art. So stay tuned to find out more. Now, a big part of the art journey is understanding your process. And this can be why you make art, how you make art, and what both distracts you or keeps you from making art, as well as what supports you. And taking a tip from mindfulness through self reflection can help you discover more about these blocks. So, the next step then to do is to create supportive habits, which can be taking the things that you know don't work for you and then creating an environment or processes that help you instead. So you don't have to stay stuck in what isn't working. You can create what does work for you. And this is a little bit of flipping the script, something we do in mindfulness practice when we're trying to grow ourselves out of the hole that we feel stuck in. It can help you too with your artwork as well. Now, these are some of my supportive habit tips that can help you along your journey. You can let me know in the comments which one you feel helps you the most or what you think maybe I missed along the way. I'd love to hear from you all. So, I really feel that it is important to have your art on display, either in a small space or a large space. I have a little studio room. If you only have a table or a corner, make it your little art sanctuary. Having the piece that you're working on available and accessible to you at any time, as well as a couple other creative pieces, maybe other people's art as well, that keep you inspired in the direction you want your art to go in. And this means that at any moment, at any time, when inspiration hits you, you can show up to that little art space and start creating immediately. You don't have to pull out all the paints, you don't have to pull out all the supplies, you don't have to put things away. All of those inhibit that momentary inspiration, that wave of energy that's hitting you. And we want to hone in on it and use it for the best of its ability and not let it go to waste. Now, I love to have music as part of my creative process. I have learned that I just won't get started unless my specific playlists with my specific beats are playing in the background and they just inspire me to focus, to clear my mind, to get into my feelings and emotions. And that's where my pieces are created. So I understand that about my process. And sometimes I might switch it up and play different kinds of music for different types of art, or if certain things aren't feeling right. But I also have taken it to the extreme where I will get hooked on one song for a specific painting and I will listen to that same song for a week and a half straight because that just has the energy, the feeling, whatever that I'm looking for and to channel for that piece, it is there. And I will not do myself any good by switching it off. So I have heard from one other artist that they don't like music at all. It inhibits their process. So if that's how it is for you, then feel free to keep on rocking and rolling. Maybe you need noise canceling headphones because you want absolute silence. But if you find that a nice ambient sounds in the background help you focus, like study music, then it's a great way to just get your head in the game before you get creating. Now, let's talk about idea inspiration because this is where meditation and mindfulness is the most helpful. Now, if you are unsure about what your creative journey is and your art is kind of all over the place, if you want something to come from an authentic place, just ask. Ask for a vision, ask for some divine inspiration, and allow yourself to be open and clear in your mind to receive. This could be, simply going on a walk or sitting quietly in your room. Either way, this allows you to have open receptivity to new ideas. And you'd be surprised just what can come through when you're not trying to force something to be something else. You can just allow whatever is supposed to come to come. And so that's actually maybe how my art journey started with paintings. I was not a painter before. Uh, the last 15 years I have been. It just so happened that I was kind of questioning what is my spiritual truth. And in that process, I got visions and I painted them. And at the time, I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, okay, well, this is interesting. Let me paint it. And now, over this whole journey, anytime that I'm stuck, I just ask for a vision. And sometimes I don't ask for visions and I get them anyway. But my visions are very vague and simple. They're sometimes like a little outline or a stamp in my mind. And I just take a quick pen and paper, a 2-inch doodle. I write the colors maybe that are related to it, but that's it. I don't do a painting. I just take that one little doodle and go for it. So if you want, you can ask and receive what is authentic to you and what maybe you're meant to put out in the world. And the more that you see what kind of things come out of you and what wants to be created, the more you can understand how that feeds into your journey as an artist. Now, another aspect is removing pressure from the creative process, whether it's social media pressure, work pressure, whatever it is, take time for yourself. And that means not creating and letting yourself breathe, then do it. And that could even include going and experiencing other forms of art, being inspired by other creative pieces, allowing yourself a break so that you can create from an authentic place of inspiration. Because when we're chasing other people's, what we think matters to them or what we think other people will like, it can really push us out of a sincere, authentic place with our work. And that can just start to rot you from the inside out. So take time to allow yourself to chill. It's okay. You don't always have to be creating all the time. You are valid as an artist, and you don't have imposter syndrome if you don't create all the time. When I was first painting, I was painting like one painting a year, and I was just doing it like on a whim. And there was a period where I said, I'm not creative because I don't know. I've literally been an artist my whole life. Why would I say that? Because I just felt the energy wave. I just wasn't in it. But that doesn't mean that in the future, once I understood my process and understood myself deeper through a lot of mindfulness and meditation, that I could jump in more quickly, more inspired than when I was just kind of like floating by in life. So, something to consider to give yourself a break and to not push from a mental place, especially if you're somebody who wants to create from an authentic place, wants to see what happens, or you want to find out who you are through your art. It's a great way. So, take a break. It's good for you. Now, I feel like this reflects a little bit back on what I was saying earlier, but asking questions about your inner world, your inner self, is a great way to evolve that part of you where art reflects more of who you are and what you're meant to create in the world, and not just a reflection or copycat of other things. Other things can inspire you, but just like sometimes fan art is a really great way to get us inspired after we watch a great TV show. Got one right there. Um, but it's not like I want the whole bit of my work to be all fan art, right? I want it to reflect parts of my soul, parts of my journey. And this means that I have to ask the deeper questions in myself and face sometimes those emotional truths that are holding me back. Sometimes getting depressed over situations, emotionally burdened, can be very limiting on my work and makes me feel like I can't channel the art, that the energy that I'm meant to. So I have to take time to reflect and go inward and do the healing work for myself, which is also part of taking a break. But in that time, we can ask ourselves more about ourselves in the journey and understand inner truths. And then when you ask for those visions, they end up reflecting those same inner truths You may not notice it at first, but it's a great way to, weave in new symbolism, because the more you know about yourself, the more that you can create from a conscious place about yourself, or about how you see the world, or how you see yourself in reflection within the world. Now, a really simple way to give yourself some creative expansion through mindful awareness is to explore new media. Break yourself away out of the routine of what you've been doing. If you feel stuck in it, if you feel like all your work is coming out the same, a really great exercise is to keep it flexible. Try something new, push your boundaries, and you might find out that sometimes those skills reflect back into your old work and old medium, and actually expand your art and the depth and the how you see things and how you look at um, things as well. So maybe you work with beads, you've never worked with beads before, and then you come back in and you're adding all these tiny little details to your drawings that you never did before, because you're so used to working on with these tiny little beads. And I'll say this, I was not a painter for a long time. Before my 15 years of painting, I was not a painter. I was an, a drawer with pencil and ink and color pencil too, and some digital. But once I picked up painting, it like opened up a whole new world. And at first, I didn't really understand or see it, but over time, it has become the most recognizable of my style. It captures the color. I can be very expressive in it. And it was through exploring other mediums that I found it. It was actually because I didn't have anything else in my life at the time. It was a very hard period, and I just happened to have that paint. So it made my life shift in a whole new direction just because of that little bit of exploration. So you don't have to stay in it forever. I also crochet as well, and it's such a, I feel like a mindless practice that I can do it while binge watching TV, giving myself a mental break. I'm still creating, but keeping my hands busy, but I'm allowing my heart and mind to rest a little bit, so that when I do my deeper paintings, things that require a lot more detail work, a lot more energy focus, that I can be ready for that. Because it can be draining to just, sometimes you're in the flow of it and sometimes it's a lot. So take time for you and find the flow and shift back and forth as you need to. Now, it is also important to have those projects on display for yourself that are half finished. Those ones that you're like, I don't know why I can't finish it. What's wrong with me? Hang it up on the wall in a place that you always see. Walk by it each day. You will start to see things come out of it. You're you'll be like, I need to fix this thing. I just need to add this here. And there'll be some buildup to a point where you're like, I'm taking it down and I'm painting it today. And that is a great practice because not all of my pieces are finished at the same time. And especially, I do recommend that if you ever feel a big energy wave where you have to create all at once, use it as much as you can, because energy comes in waves. It is not guaranteed to last. And when the energy settles, I'm sure you can feel this in your own life. Sometimes there are slower periods where you're meant to rest and nothing's happening. If you try to push it, it's not going to happen. So things don't always get finished within those windows. And sometimes you have to do inner work, or you've got to move through other things in your life and then you can come back to it. But having it on display in a way where you can constantly, I don't know, be pulled in with your subconscious to know that it wants to call to you to be finished, let it speak to you and let that happen. It's a great way to connect in a deeper way to your art. And it's never going to get finished if it's in the closet, because you're never going to see it. You're never going to think about it. So you may not be able to do it with all your works, but if you have one or two, hang them up on the wall and see what happens. Now, mindfulness is such a broad and open skill. You can apply it to anything. It's really just having awareness of you, yourself, your environment, and others. You can deeply reflect on your creations. You can allow yourself to use it as a tool to better show you how to navigate through your own blocks and to utilize inspiration. And the more that we allow space for inspiration to come to us, the more it arrives. The more we force things to happen when they're not meant to, it can create blocks. So these things are all signs. There are ways to navigate through them. And you can be your own best friend by not resisting them and working with them, looking at them and seeing what they're telling you so that you can find your own way through and what works best for you. So make sure you drop a comment below and let me know what your experiences have been with creating and having art blocks, as well as which of these you find would be most helpful to integrate. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them in the comments as well. Please drop a like and subscribe if you would like any more of my content in the future. I will continue to make these kinds of videos available as divine inspiration hits me. But until next time, I appreciate you for being here.